And more. NBC News, Washington.
The White House has not yet announced if the president will travel to Oklahoma, saying he doesn't want to distract from the rescue and recovery efforts right now. Estimates from the National Weather Service put this as an EF5 tornado, the largest possible kind there can be. They don't get bigger than this.
Right. So what does it really mean, and what weather elements play into the making of a twister? Storm Team forecaster Jesse Ricka taking a closer look at the Oklahoma tornado. That EF5 ranking really just came in, what, an hour ago?
Yeah, about an hour ago. The National Weather Service has been out there doing their damage surveys over the past just 24 hours. And initially, they were saying there were several spots where there were EF4. You can see that wedge tornado right there. And that's typically usually a good indication that this is a strong, violent tornado, and these are very rare. You don't get them very often. We've only had 2 EF5 tornadoes ever go across Wisconsin, the entire state. But there's a whole lot of different factors that were going into this storm. We had some really warm, humid air on top of Oklahoma. We had a cold front in the jet stream off to the west of Oklahoma, and the kind of clashing of those two air masses created this spin in the atmosphere. So you have these southerly winds, like you see on the bottom of your screen there, that's at the surface. Up high aloft, you have these a different direction in the winds, and that creates a twist. And anytime you get that twist in the atmosphere, or different, what we call wind shear, it creates a little bit of spin, and eventually it could create a tornado. Still very difficult to predict, but something that was very unusual. Here's a preliminary look at the path. Now, initially today, people were saying it was about 20 miles an hour, or 20-mile long path cutting through Moore, Oklahoma. Started out actually a bit west of Newcastle, Oklahoma, and then ended up about 5 miles east of Moore, Oklahoma. So that whole path now officially was 17 miles long. At its widest point, it was 1.3 miles wide. So this was a very wide damage path. Again, very rare. The tornado warning was initially issued at 2:40 yesterday afternoon. It touched down at 2:56. So there was a 16-minute lead time, what we call. So when forecasters were going on saying there's a tornado, people had about 16 minutes to seek shelter. It was on the ground, though, for 40 minutes. And of course, that time it started when it initially touched down. 10 minutes later after it touched down, it went from an EF0 to an EF4 in the matter of 10 minutes. And that's just absolutely incredible. So this is just a big, huge storm system. There's that clashing of the air masses that I was talking about, also with the jet there. So this was an EF5, which you can't get any bigger than that. Estimated wind speeds 200 to 210 miles an hour at that peak point. Steve and Courtney.
All right, Jesse, thanks for the breakdown of everything. Storm Team forecaster Brian Goddard is in Oklahoma right now. He's going to bring us the personal stories of those who survived the tornado. Watch his live reports right here on today's TMJ4 starting at 5 tonight. You may remember Brian Goddard reported